Chicago's got no shortage of rappers bragging about bodies. Every corner, every block, someone's spitting bars about who they dropped, who they caught lacking, who ain't breathing no more. The whole city became a soundtrack to violence, with drill music turning real murders into hit songs that go viral. But every once in a while, somebody comes through that makes all that drill rap sound like nursery rhymes. Someone who don't just talk about it in the booth, they live it in ways most people can't even imagine. Pluto 2X wasn't just rapping about the life, he was living it at a level that had even the most hardened street dudes shaking their heads. This is one of the bloodiest, most ruthless stories Chicago's ever seen. And it all went down where nobody was really watching: the West Side, a place where the violence runs just as deep as the South. But the cameras ain't always rolling. See, when people talk about Chicago drill, they're usually focused on the South Side. That's where the culture got born, where it got nurtured into what it became. O Block, STLEBT, La Marron, these the names that made drill music what it is today. These the blocks that put Chicago violence on the map, that made the whole world pay attention to what was happening in the trenches. The South Side was the face of Chicago's war, the storyline everybody followed. But while everybody's eyes was on the South, the West Side was going through its own nightmare. And trust me, it was just as deadly, maybe even worse in some ways, because nobody was documenting it the same way. Pluto 2X operated out there, deep in the forgotten war zones, and the body count he allegedly racked up, man, it's something straight out of a horror movie. Something that would make even the most notorious South Side shooters take notice. Pluto ran with Ghost Mob, a conservative vice lord set that used to go by 4900 and TNG before they adopted the name that would become infamous. They posted up on the West Side, deep in territory most outsiders wouldn't dare touch without permission. This wasn't tourist Chicago, this was survival Chicago. Ghost Mob had beef that stretched back years, deep-rooted conflicts with traveling vice lord sets like BTBG, violent confrontations with four-corner hustler sets like Poppy Gang. All of them wanted smoke with Ghost Mob, and Ghost Mob was more than happy to give it to them. The tension was always there, simmering under the surface, but in 2017, everything escalated to a whole different level. The violence went from bad to absolutely catastrophic. September 2017, a dude named Ghost, one of the original members from the 4900 and TNG days, a respected figure in the set, got found stretched out in the street, his body riddled with bullets. Allegedly active as hell for the gang, Ghost was moving weight, putting in real work, handling business on every level. Word on the street is he got caught slipping during a drug deal, the kind of transaction that happens 1,000 times a day in Chicago. But this time went fatally wrong. Somebody aired him out, left him bleeding on the pavement in broad daylight. Police never caught nobody for it. No arrests, no witnesses coming forward, no justice served. But his death, that's what cemented the name Ghost Mob forever. They wore that tragedy like a badge of honor, a constant reminder of what they lost and what they were willing to do to avenge it. And from that point on, they was out for blood in ways the West Side had never seen before. But Ghost wasn't the first loss they took, not by a long shot. The set had been hemorrhaging members for years before Ghost even died. Go back to 2008, Gerald caught a headshot and chest shots in an alley on North Lehman Avenue. His body discovered by residents who heard the shots echo through the night. No suspects identified, no leads developed. Case went cold faster than the body. Then 2010 rolled around and Troy got clapped in similarly brutal fashion. According to the streets, a dude named Mo Killer from Wicked Town allegedly put him down, adding another name to the endless list of unsolved West Side murders. Wicked Town, another traveling vice lord set with a reputation so violent it made other gangs nervous. Just hearing the name, they'd been beefing with Ghost Mob for years, the kind of generational conflict that gets passed down from older members to the young ones coming up. Mo Killer was supposedly one of their top demons, the kind of shooter that made people check their surroundings twice. Eventually, Mo Killer himself got killed, but even that's murky and wrapped in street mythology. Some say Ghost Mob caught him slipping, got their revenge for Troy in the most permanent way possible. Others swear it was the police who finally ended his run. Either way, he's gone, but the beef between the sets, that never stopped. It only got more vicious with each passing year. By the time Ghost got murdered in 2017, Pluto 2X was already deep in the streets, his name ringing bells in ways most teenagers couldn't comprehend. He was considered Ghost Mob's biggest shooter, the one they called when things needed to get handled, when messages needed to be sent, when bodies needed to drop. If there was a problem, Pluto was the solution. But Pluto's story didn't start in 2017. 2017 with Ghost's death. It started way earlier, and it started with something most people wouldn't even call a murder, at least not in the traditional sense. Back in 2013, Pluto was just a high school freshman, still finding his way in the world. He got into it with a dude named Antoine Baker over something incredibly stupid: a cigarette. Just a cigarette. The kind of petty argument that happens a million times a day, and usually ends with somebody walking away mad. But this time, it didn't end that way. The situation got heated fast, words turned into pushing, and Pluto grabbed his speaker and dropped it on Baker's head with force. Baker collapsed right there, went into an asthma attack, and died on the scene. Just like that, a young life ended over nothing. Pluto and his homie who was with him both got charged with murder. The system tried them as adults, meaning they was facing real prison time before they even had a chance to graduate high school. But here's where it gets interesting, where the case took a turn nobody saw coming. The autopsy came back showing Baker had a lethal dose of heroin in his system, enough to kill him on its own. Turns out Baker had a documented history of heroin-induced asthma attacks, a dangerous pattern his body couldn't handle. The defense attorneys jumped on this, argued hard that Pluto's actions alone wouldn't have killed Baker, it was the drugs that did it. The argument worked for Pluto's homie. He beat the case entirely, walked out of that courtroom a free man. Pluto, his charge got knocked down from murder to involuntary manslaughter, a significant reduction that meant less time. By 2016, after doing a short bid, he was back on the streets, free, alive, and allegedly, he came back hungrier than ever, with something to prove and nothing to lose. 2016 was when the real violence kicked off, when Pluto allegedly transformed from a kid with one questionable case to a full-fledged demon, moving through the West Side. Allegedly, Pluto killed a teen mob member named Tice, marking his first real confirmed body in the streets. Teen Mob and Ghost Mob had been going at it for a while, but this move made it deeply personal. This wasn't just gang politics anymore, this was war. Later that same year, Ghost Mob lost Big Glow in devastating fashion. Michael Dukes from Teen Mob ran up on him at a corner store on West Crystal and let off 6 shots, catching Big Glow completely off guard. Big Glow dropped right there on the concrete, but Dukes didn't stop with just the murder. He allegedly took Big Glow's phone off his body and started sending messages to his mama, taunting her about her dead son, mocking her grief with cruel words that cut deeper than any bullet. That's the kind of disrespect that don't get forgotten in the streets. That's the kind of violation that demands response. Ghost Mob had to respond, and according to the streets, Pluto handled it personally. First, he allegedly caught Pretty 4 from Teen Mob, evening the score. Then, shortly after, Sosa Curry got hit in what would become one of the most disrespectful killings in recent Chicago history. Sosa took multiple shots to the head, so many that his whole face was destroyed. His family couldn't even have an open casket at the funeral because there was nothing left to show. Pluto wasn't done with his revenge, though. He got on Facebook and started mocking Sosa publicly, posting disrespectful comments about how he went out. Then he posted a video of himself literally stomping on Sosa's grave, dancing on it, showing the ultimate disrespect to a fallen enemy. That level of disrespect, that's demonic. That's something that goes beyond normal gang warfare into pure hatred. Word is Sosa had killed Ghost Mob member Saquon before all this went down, and had even threatened Pluto directly. So in Pluto's mind, this was personal. This was payback. This was making sure everybody knew what happens when you threaten Ghost Mob. 2018 rolled around, and Pluto allegedly expanded his reach beyond just Teen Mob, spreading his violence to other sets. He caught a Wadi World member named Dahat in a killing that showed just how reckless Pluto was getting. According to sources who knew the situation, Dahat wasn't even really gang affiliated like that. He was more on the periphery, not a major player. But Pluto didn't care about details like that. Pluto self-snitched online afterward, posting that Dahat tried to run when he saw him coming but fell, and that's when he got him. Another body, another name added to the growing list. Then there's Lil Mook, a Teen Mob member who allegedly got dropped by Pluto in what became one of the most controversial killings. Police arrested Pluto for it, brought him in for questioning, but they didn't have the physical evidence to make it stick in court. He walked free again, but after Pluto died years later, Later, Lil Mook's family came out and confirmed it was him who killed their loved one. They dissed Pluto publicly, celebrating his death online, making it crystal clear who they blamed. 2019 was when things really got out of control, when the violence reached levels that shocked even seasoned Chicago watchers. Pistol P, a BTBG member, got hit near Iowa Street and Hamlin Avenue in a daytime shooting that had all the hallmarks of a planned execution. Midday, multiple shooters coordinating their movements, multiple vehicles involved. 4 people got shot in the chaos, but Pistol P was the only one who didn't make it out alive. Pluto's homie Cody allegedly burned one of the getaway cars afterward, trying to destroy evidence. He beat the case when it went to trial, though. No convictions. Then came the West Madison mass shooting, an incident so violent it made local news for days. 4 ops got caught outside a store, completely unaware of what was coming. Somebody unloaded at least 40 shots in rapid succession, the sound echoing through the neighborhood like a war zone. 3 of them died right there on the scene. Pluto got online afterward, dissing hard, claiming Ghost Mob had caught 20 bodies total. Whether that number is accurate or inflated street mythology, one thing's clear: Pluto wasn't hiding what he was doing. He was proud of it. He even started putting it in his music, using his alleged murders as content for his songs. His track location dissed Sosa Curry and Tice by name, referencing real killings in the lyrics with details only the killer would know. He rapped about slowing down the violence to focus on music career, but the streets knew better. Pluto was still moving the exact same way. The music was just another way to taunt his enemies. As time went on, Pluto allegedly stayed incredibly active. Sources say he caught 3 bodies in one day at 1.3 separate murders in 24 hours. His focus wasn't on building a music career, it was on the streets, on maintaining Ghost Mob's reputation. He had beef with multiple violent sets across the West Side, and he wasn't backing down from none of them. But September 2019, everything came crashing down. Pluto was stopped at a red light on North Cicero Avenue. A car pulled up directly behind him. The shooter got out calmly, walked up, and let off at point-blank range. No warning, no chance to react. Pluto and the woman in the car with him tried to drive to the hospital, but it was too late. He died from severe wounds to the head and chest. Just like that, one of Ghost Mob's most feared members was gone. The streets went absolutely crazy when the news spread. Ghost Mob lost one of their heaviest hitters. His homies claimed Pluto had killed over 10 people. His ops confirmed even more bodies, saying the real number was significantly higher. Wicked Town was heavily suspected of being behind the hit, but nothing was ever confirmed. No arrests, no justice, just another name added to Chicago's endless list of unsolved murders. But here's the thing: Wicked Town wasn't playing games. In 2022, federal authorities hit them with a massive RICO case. Authorities charged them with at least 19 murders spanning years. A dude named Lil Don was allegedly running the whole operation. He'd been active since the early 2000s, already having caught a body back in 2002. Later, he allegedly killed his own homie John over internal politics. That's how ruthless Wicked Town operated. Then there's Scudder, another Wicked Town shooter whose story is almost unbelievable. Lil Don allegedly recruited him young, and Scudder went on to allegedly kill 14 people. He admitted to 7 murders over just 3 years and took a plea deal. The judge said Scudder might not even have a soul based on the brutality of his crimes. Whether he had anything to do with Pluto's death remains unproven, but the connection's there. Ghost Mob tried to retaliate. In 2020, on the anniversary of Pluto's death, they allegedly caught Dern, a BTBG member, shot him in the chest. He died at the hospital, but BTBG clapped back 2 days later, killing Ghost Mob member Sumo. The war wasn't slowing down, it was only getting worse. And then there's Thule, another Ghost Mob member who got killed in the most tragic way possible. His own homie Sid accidentally killed him during what should have been a routine shooting. They were at a red light when Sid fired at an elderly man. The bullets hit Thule instead, who was in the back seat. Thule died right there. Sid got arrested and sentenced to 12 years, but Thule was allegedly very active himself. Word is he killed BTBG member 23. BTBG had tried to get Thule before, but they ended up killing his innocent sister instead in a case of mistaken identity. That's the kind of collateral damage that comes with this life. BTBG was even accused of killing multiple multiple innocent kids over the years. Ghost Mob continued to take heavy losses through 2020. They lost 4 members in just a few months. The violence was non-stop, coming from every direction. Fast forward to 2024, and the war's still going strong. Davo, another Ghost Mob member, got shot outside a gas station. Over 100 bullets hit him. Over 100. The shooters stood directly over him, and one of them even reloaded to keep shooting. No arrests were made. Rumor is TBG was behind it. Ghost Mob allegedly retaliated by killing JP, though some sources say it was a backdoor situation over a trap house. Ghost Mob even posted the video of JP's murder online. The violence slowed down temporarily after that, but the war on the West Side, it's still active, still deadly, still claiming lives every single day. Pluto 2X's story is one of the most violent, most ruthless chapters in Chicago history. He allegedly moved like a demon through the streets, racking up bodies and dissing his enemies with absolutely no fear. But in the end, the streets caught up with him, just like they always do. Ghost Mob's still out here, still at war, but they'll never get back what they lost when Pluto died. The West Side's still bleeding, and there's no sign it's gonna stop anytime soon.